I'm going to try it and root some plants. This is pomegranate limbs, grapevine limbs, and a desert willow. So I'm going to do something I hadn't tried before, is grow them in this and then put the lid on it. It'd be like a greenhouse, and see what they do. I'm going to put some root hormone on them, stick them in there, and just make them enough where they'll fit in there like this, and see what happens. So I'll be cutting all of them up. When cutting one of these, it's always best to have the flat on the bottom and the point sticking up, and that's the direction you want it. Like this, you know that's up high. It's going to go that way. But if you get a stick in the winter, you want to make sure you make a point on top so you know that's the direction the stick is supposed to go. So now I'm going to put some root hormone on these. And I'm not too sure about if the willow needs it, because they do have root hormone, but it'll get in that water. So I'm going to drop them all in there, and I'm going to do each plant like that. Get in there. Whoop, there we go. I can see that root hormone in the water. And I will tuck the leaves down in there because I want to shut the lid. It's going to be like a little water greenhouse. And there I go. And you don't need about an inch or so down there. This is going to sweat like crazy. And just put the lid on it. Every few days I'll open up the lid and let some fresh air in there, and then put it back, and we'll see what happens. And this is the desert willow. This is what I'm going to do on this one. I'm going to make several of them like that and try it. I'll put it in here, put the root hormone on it, make sure I scrape the bark, and then I'll put the lid over it. Then I'll make a greenhouse. So I'm going to dip in some water, follow this pomegranate. Put them in here. And then drop them in there. Put the lid on it. Next one will be grapevines, and I got more of them, so I've got me 2 more jugs here. See what I can do with them. I've been moving a lot of my plants into pots, getting them ready for fall to be put in the sunroom and the greenhouse. And this is rosemary, and I got 3 of them, and I'm going to take them into the sunroom or greenhouse this winter. And when I shuffle it around, it smells so good. So I was growing them last year in the sunroom because they're little babies, but now they're a little bigger, so they get their own pot. So I've been moving a lot of plants, getting ready. So that's what I'm doing. So I got 4 rosemaries. So 2 can go in the sunroom, and 2 can go in the greenhouse. And I just love working with this because it smells so good. You ruffle it around. And I told Bill, I said, well, when I go in the greenhouse, I'll just go like this. Make that air smell so good in there. So that'd be nice. So this is all my water jugs I'm trying to do. And I bought this handle for my paint sprayer. That way I don't have to press down like that. It was hurting my hand with this little paint gun. I can spray. And I'm doing this a little bit at a time as I go. And look at that. It just makes it so much easier. And I can start working on them. So I really like this little handle. Because I got to do so much, it's a lot better than trying to hold down that little button. And I bought it from Amazon like $3, something like that. And it works real good. So I like that. And I got a lot of them to do for the sunroom and the greenhouse. I cut this cactus off. It was kind of like this in the walkway. So I didn't want nobody to go hit it and break it. So I let it dry for 3 days. And now I'm going to pot it. I went ahead, I could eat that, but I went ahead and left that top on. That way you can get some growth. It already has it. So I'm going to pot it and put it in the sanctuary. This is pretty easy to, you know, cut cactus leaves off. So if you find one you like, ask somebody like, hey, you got a great cactus, could I get a cutting? You just cut one of them knobs off right there. And then, you know, from the plant, take it home, put it in a pot. And that's all there is to it. Water it, but don't over water. Because cactus don't take a lot of water. But to get it started, water it a little bit, but just don't let it dry out completely. And that's all there is to making a new cactus plant. I'm just so happy to have this edible cactus. It's sweet, fried up with eggs, and you can have it with pork chops or anything you want. If you want fried, you can eat it raw as long as there's no stickers on this. The younger the pad, the better. This one would have stickers, but there's one right there. So always be careful when you mess with cactus and of any sorts. Always feel the end. The new shoots are the most tender, and they don't have thorns on them. This one's probably going to get some soon, but that's a new cactus for me. I brought these in here from the kitchen garden, and they're full of white flies. So I got my white fly traps going on, and I see little bodies on them every time I come by, because they like to hide in the leaves. I knock them around. I just had a bunch of them fly up, but when they start flying, they see the yellow strips of Vaseline, and I thought, well, let's go check that flower out. So I'll keep doing that and try to get them all before I put them in the sunroom or greenhouse. They were hurting up there in that sun in the kitchen garden, so I thought, well, I'll bring them in, pot them, give them lots of water, and see if I can't snap their leaf out better. And they are growing new leaves on the trunk, and I like that. I took a lot of them off to feed to the chickens. I probably should have took that one off, but I will in time. But they're recovering, so what better place to recover than the sanctuary? So I'm really working hard to get the white flies off of them, and the white flies love them. But it's easy to make these up. Spray paint sticks or whatever you got, put Vaseline on them, and then once in a while go by and shake them, because they fly, but then they'll come up and see yellow. And I see little bodies on there, so it's working. And I got plenty of time before I take them into the houses, and so maybe I'll get rid of a lot of them. They were getting on my little cherry tomatoes I planted. And so I'll do the same thing, and they'll hit that sticky stuff. You can use clear motor oil, or the motor oil. That works too. Not the dirty motor oil, but the new. So this is some of the stuff I've been doing. So I'm going to have part 2 on this, what I've been doing, tomorrow. So I hope you come by and see part 2. Look at them big peppers. And here's some of my jugs I potted different things. Peach, grape, pomegranate, willow. And I got some over there. Who is surrounded by babies? Pepper. How cute. So there's 1 little, 2 little, 3 little chickens. Uh-oh. And who is that? Who is that? Is that Nina? Hi, Nina. Do you love Pepper too? And somebody's cooling their feet off. Here's a Wyandotte. Looking at me. There's a Wyandotte. And they're hanging out with Pepper. What a good daddy.